Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's Thursday night again. A little bit later than usual, but I'm sure it's still reasonably okay for you guys. Game week 5 of the Super League coming up. Good evening, Alf. Good evening, Steve. Good to have you here. Hopefully, we'll get a few more people in the chat shortly. While we wait, we can have a look at the table where we will see that East Coast are way out in front. Evening, Steve. Badgers are just behind them. Dudley Hill, Steve's Dudley Hill are on 9 points, and so are Astor Athletic. Good start to the season for them. Evening, Tato. Um, Bridge on 6, Stackington on 5, and then a bunch of teams on sort of 5-4. Dragons on 3. Meavertown and Bostock down at the bottom. Bostock haven't scored yet. I'm not sure what to make of that, but Scott's trying to do something about that this evening for sure, as you will see in his tactics later on. Results from last time out. Astor beat Barra 2-1. Badgers beat Dudley Hill 3-1. Dudley Hill without Patrick Vieira, who returns from suspension this evening. Bostock lost at home 4-0 to Stackington. East Coast beating the Bridge. Gazelles with an impressive 3-0 win over Meavertown. Haggis drew 2-2 with Dragons, who are also still looking for. I think Dragons are still looking for their first win as well. And finally, Raw Dykes beating Foss Road 3-0. Depleted Foss Road side, no less. So we'll see how that goes for them this evening with a couple of people back. I think still one Henshaw maybe still out, but two people back from Foss Road. Fixtures this evening. Badgers are hosting Barra Brava. We already have both managers in attendance. Imagine Tato going early. Would have seen it all now. Bostock against Dragons. Then we have Dudley Hill hosting Bamboozler Bridge. East Coast hosting Haggis. Gazelles are hosting Stackington. Meavertown welcomes Foss Road. And finally, Raw Dykes take on Astor. I see we have the Stackington manager in the chat as well, of course, so that's good. And what else do we have? Dudley Hill. That's excellent. But we are, of course, already ready for the first game of the evening with Badgers and Barra Brava. So let's have a look at that. Um, Badgers squad. It's going well. It's it's going well, yeah, indeed. Imagine that. Badgers going early. It's going well for Badgers. They've had a good start to the season. They've only conceded the one, which was against Stee, in a game they won, drew with Stackington. And yeah, it's been going well for them, to be honest. Ryan Giggs, of course, out on one side is doing well, and the High Chick has also been doing, I guess, okay. A good debut he had. The first game was very impressive. Since then, it's maybe been a little bit so-so. Goals, yeah, I mean Collins, Morientes, there are people who can score goals here. Of course, there's not a ton of fancy players, but we will see. A similar problem to Bostock, but the Boostown Badgers seems to have found a little bit better solution, and at least they've had a couple of goals. Can Asta go next? But quite possibly yes, Alf. I don't see why not. Um, I forget who you're playing, but probably yes. Alex maybe. We'll see, but it should be fine. Why is it doing this? Just are ready. And as mentioned, they're up against Bar Brava. I think tactical changes mostly for the away side. Maldini comes in at the back as well, of course, and takes on the captain's armband. He's next to Woodgate. Then we have got Cafu and Arca, um, and then Van Bommelboy, Lundberg, Nedved, Hauer, Shevchenko, sort of familiar faces there. Not the worst start to the season for Barra Brava, not the best either. A couple of defeats. They had a big win against Rodykes there. Now a tricky away game to Badgers before they take on Meavertown, then the Bridge, then Stackington. A bit of stability, a bit of sort of mm, getting a few sort of stable results. Change this. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Good spot. No, hopefully you won't need him, but yeah, let's get the right substitute goalie in. I forgot that Khan came back from suspension there. We'll sort this out just a second. The advantage of the managers being here, indeed, Khan in goal, and who was the other one? Massentini on the bench. I think the other changes were made. So yeah, good that you're here. Good that you're here to keep an eye on things. Um, Indeed. With those changes done and hopefully the lineup correct, I think we can dive into to this one. So let's see. Badgers against Barra Brava. Good start for the visitors here. A couple of good changes. Arca comes forward and has a good pass into the center, but Badgers have their own wingers, of course, and they have been impressive so far this season. Lots of fouling and things going on in midfield here, and there's a yellow card. I think that was the first of the evening. Um, both teams definitely trying. Lundberg now, but Frey with a good save for Badgers. Lundberg, I'm not sure if his debut this season or his first game this season, but I think it's his first start. Anyway, we'll see what he can do in central midfield for Bar Brava. Nedved there as well. And there is Nedved. He must score, and he has from that AMC role. And now Morientes picks up an injury, and we have got both Salas and Martin Reuser on the bench for the Badgers. We'll see who the manager wants to put in. Not a great first half for Badgers, but a solid one for the visitors. I presume it's going to be Salas. Indeed, manager has confirmed. And with just 5 minutes left till half time, we'll see if he gets a chance. And it's Taribo West who equalizes. Um, I'm not sure what happened there. We started the game. Badgers obviously 6-4. Barra Brava 8-6. They've been very good value for money in the first half. Barra Brava, and it was Lee Boya again with the assist. I think that's his third of the season. He's been doing very well for the boys in white and sky blue. Um, Lots of creative play down the wings as well, with Cafu and Julio Arca both getting a good score for that first half performance. Nedved with 3 shots, all three on target. Good first half for him, not winning any headers though. Um, Oh. Mike is baffled that Taribo West scores. Yeah, he doesn't get many. Ryan Giggs gets a lot of assists, so that's his third or fourth for the season as well. Keeping up with Liboya impressively. It's been okay for Badgers. They've been a little bit under pressure here, but we'll see if that evens itself out in the second half. Um, Rankings look decent enough, as Tato points out. They do indeed. Even Cabello's on a 7, which which you don't always get to see. Not a lot of heading going on, but that's maybe also not important. We'll wait and see if Steve wants to do anything. Presume not. Akahawa's on a 6, Shevchenko's on a 6, but I don't think he'll be tempted to make any changes just yet, giving the players at his disposal on the bench. But we will see. Good first half though. Interesting. 14 shots, I think, in total. And as expected, Steve goes as is until 60. It's Badgers who opens the second half, and they open it with a goal. It's David Collins finds the back of the net, 2-1 up. No one is picking up. Collins run from midfield. We'll probably be seeing a lot of that this season, and Badgers are ahead. Bit of a blow to Barra Brava there. They had good control of that first half, but they lost it just before the break. Lost their lead, and early on in the second half, they've obviously um, now gone behind. Evening Scott. Oh, and it is Collins making it 3 for the Badgers. Not sure we've seen a super impressive David Collins before in the Super League. We've obviously seen him doing stuff, but proper sort of championship contender person. I've not really got a memory of seeing him, but he's doing brilliantly tonight. Um, yeah, it's been all Badgers in the first 15 minutes here in the second half. Unfortunately for Bar Brava, it was going relatively well up until half time, but they've just not come out of the starting blocks in the second half. And Andrew Shevchenko's down on a 5. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Cafu and Julio Arca. Arca's passing very poor, but could potentially be a little bit better at finding. Maybe if he doesn't cross the net, but it'll go better. But anyway, it's Agahawa's on a 6. There's Carlos Jacques is on the bench. That's kind of an obvious one. Woodgate's probably not going to be pulled. Oliver Kahn's not having a great game either. That's a 6 for him. We'll have a look at badges. Presume, yeah, Giggs is on 2 assists and 2 shots. David Collins, as mentioned, is on 2 goals. Don't see a bunch of options for Tato on the bench. Martin Reuser could, of course, come in and cover pretty much everything going forward, but does he want him to? That's that's the question. Tomasi got the other assist. Um, The Shevchenko gets dropped for Kalajaks, an arrow on Arca. Those are the changes for the for the visiting manager. And meanwhile, badges go unchanged, I think, as this looked good so far. Indeed, it has looked good so far, at least in the second half. And, as you mentioned, as Tato mentioned, there looks like we've had all of the ball but not created so much. I can't remember what the stats. Oh, move Longberg one more forward. Let's see. Move Longberg one more forward. So here, still with arrow or without arrow. I do enjoy the asymmetrical thing here. If I've done this right, by the way, centralized. Oh, boo! Like this. I was hoping for a for a decentralized. Sorry, what is it called again? For an asymmetrical. Okay, but it's going to be like this. Nedved and Lundberg behind Jackson Agahauer looking for 2 goals here. We'll see if they will get them. There's the first one from Nedved. Oh, and he probably could or should have scored there. I think we're going to have to slow this down just a little bit. It looks as if Brava really going for it here. Nedved with that goal. Can he find another one? Ooh, instead it's Badgers sealing the deal. Is that going to be the second 4-2 defeat for Brava this season? It looks like it's heading in that direction. We speed it up a little bit again. Perfect. Perfect end to the match for the Badgers. They managed to fight back, but Barra Brava impressive there. I'm not sure if Khan is going to get another start, if Massentini is going to be back in. That's a 6. Jonathan Woodgate very disappointing as well, losing a lot in the air. Um, Meanwhile, Ryan Giggs, man of the match with 2 assists. There was no assist for the final for the David Collins goal. Was there a nutmeg involved? Let's have a look. Oh, indeed he did. Cabello had to find a way past Arga. He nutmegged him perfect. Lovely, lovely. Early second half goal killed the visitors. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Um, Stacking turn good if someone needs to go next. We've kind of oh, let me just see. Yeah, that was it. I think we're gonna go with Astra Athletic, because Alex is doing the other thing with 5 feet and Smuts. So let's roll with Raw Dykes and Astra Athletic, and then we'll do Stackington next. So yeah, Astra Athletic. Del Piero's waiting for a new contract apparently, so that's going to be good when he gets that eventually. Lawson is back in. Coco comes in and covers for Lisa Rasu, who uncharacteristically got sent off. All that having been said, that's 3 wins in a row for Astra Athletic. That's not often that Alphas has enjoyed that amount of success early on in the season, but since the very early days. But yeah, brilliant effort from Alf and a solid lineup here. You will be the only competitive ODB league going. You're not gonna try something strange in that All Star thing. I'll leave you to it. I've got plenty here with my upcoming holidays, as I'm sure you'll hear more about later. We'll see if this league will be going. Technically, yes, but there might be a little bit of a break. Anyway, let's see what Alex has done. He's done nothing. They go unchanged. They had a good 3-0 victory against Foss Road, so why change anything? It's Raw Dykes at home to Astor. Let's see who runs out winners here. Can't be Raw Dykes in test. Trezeguet is a scoring menace, says Alf. Let's see if those predictions turn out to be true. Trezeguet had the goal. Oh, he had. Oh, that's a second goal ruled out for offside. Both Trezeguet and Kuhl had the ball in the back of the net for the Raw Dykes, but both goals have been ruled out for offsides. There's 4 minutes to be added on here. Maybe there's been some some arguments around those offside decisions. Jeremy Oliphant not working in Raw Dykes' favor here, but it has been plenty of Raw Dykes so far. But unfortunately for them, Derek McGuinness is now going to come on because that is his DMC. So bad luck. And see Elias, who's been poor anyway. So not a lot lost there. And that's it till half time. Astor with 3-1, Raw Dykes have obviously had two additional shots, both of them on target, both ruled out for offside. Astor will be a little bit nervous to see how that's going to continue into the second half. Let's have a look at the stats. Martin Lausen's on a 6, so Joe Cole, Bosveld, Viduka, and Del Piero. Attacking, it's not been brilliant from Astor, and they are just about surviving at the back. Diego Simeone not doing brilliantly in terms of his tackles. But no disaster as of yet, really. So yeah, it's going to be a tricky first 15 minutes of the second half, I think, for Astor. Meanwhile, the Raw Dykes, they played well. They've had two goals ruled out for offside. That's tough. That's tough for them, obviously. Christian Burns, Ronaldo on the bench, but Alex not here, and I'm not sure he would have wanted to do anything at this point anyway. We'll see if Al wants to do anything. Al says he's going to go as is, so we'll keep it like that until 60. A bit more quiet here in the second half so far. There comes Trezeguet, Klumpe in hot pursuit. Lawson played it forward. Del Piero was offside, though. Simeone holdbacks David Batty. That's going to be a yellow card for him. Let's see if anything comes off the free kick. It doesn't look like it. We've reached the hour mark, 62 to be exact, and nothing really happening in that first 15 apart from Simeone picking up a yellow. He's on an 8. He has won a tackle, though, so that's good. Joe Cole, Viduka, Del Piero still struggling. We have got Frank and Kili Gonzalez on the bench. Maybe we'll see some of those guys in action. Condition wise, everyone is looking fine, Alf. So you don't have that to worry about. But in terms of rating, as mentioned, Kili Gonzalez, of course, a winger, but could come on for Cole, even for Coco, could maybe play up front as well, and Frank as well. Double goal scorer from last time out, Viduka is on a 6, Van Nistelrooy is on a 7. Be off to Alf to make those decisions. Raw Dykes are just kind of soldiering on. Rustico's doing okay. 8 there at the back, 6 for Liano and 6 for David Batty. Derek McGuinness has not been too bad. Um, yeah, Franco Del Piero, and that's it. Where is Del Piero? He's here, and Franca comes on. He's a solid attacking option, Franca. Good finishing, and a good flair, good anticipation. We'll see if that makes the difference. Oh, someone pushed away McGuinness, but not even a card was given that slowed that down. 6 minutes to go here now. That Kluivert's coming forward. There's Kuhl finds Mandavikia. Simeone picks up the ball. There comes Rivaldo with a pass to the feet of someone, but nothing happened. Instead, is Asta coming forward. Viduka handles the ball. That's a free kick for Raw Dyke. So it'll be 4 minutes added on. Since the two disallowed goals, it hadn't looked super dangerous at either end of the pitch. But who knows what might happen in the greasy and wet conditions here in the last couple of minutes. Biscan is knocked over Bosveld. Was the person who committed the foul. Buffon with a good save and Lawson clears the danger, and I think that's going to be it. Indeed, it is. Raw Dykes 0-0 with Astor. Only two shots for the Raw Dykes, apart from the two that were ruled out for offside. 5-1 for Astor. Not the best performance from them, but I guess Alf will take a point and a clean sheet away from home. Man of the match performance from Diego Pablo Simeone as well. Just a little bit slow from the strikers, but yeah, not the most entertaining of matches, but we got there in the end. And I think both managers probably relatively pleased. Uh, Overall, Raw Dykes will feel a little bit hard done by those two offside goals, but a clean sheet is not the worst. Um, Mega Horse has asked to go next, so we will do Stackington against Gazelles, as suggested by the game. Hey, Alex, that's no problem. You literally just missed your game again. So apologies for that. But Alf was very keen on going early, so we let him. So you'll have to watch this one back as well. You had two goals ruled out for offside. That's all I'm saying. Um, right. And Dan is here as well. Excellent, excellent. Stackington, I can't remember. Keane came in. Robbie Keane has come in instead of Arik Bak, who's not been doing brilliantly. Adamides is out injured, not still, but for a different injury. Hopefully he'll be back soon. And 4 games, 2 goals. I mean, it shouldn't be possible, but it is. Um, Captain will be picked by the game, and we will see who gets that. Okay. Dimitri Podgers, who's had a decent start to the season, actually, and 20 influence. I mean, he's going to be the captain. For Special Gazelles, there's only one change. It's Campbell who's injured. He is replaced by not even Cordoba, the other one, Marinho. Yeah, it's been a bit of a tricky start to the season for Gazelles, but they did run out 3-0 winners against Miva time last time out, and I think Anelka got on the score sheet his first seven of the season. We'll see how that goes. He obviously doesn't have like plethora of strikers to choose from, so Anelka it is in terms of who we're relying on here from the Gazelles. A scored number from Marinho and Gazelles. Oh, lovely stacking turn away colours. And we kick this one off. Good luck indeed to Dan. Good luck to both managers. Shimkovia picks up an injury. Um, yeah, I guess Guigu could play out there. I guess he's going to have to. Mendonça to right side and Evasand on is another option for the Gazelles. We'll see what Dan wants to do here. Guigu straight swap. We'll do that for Koviak. Only 9 minutes, well, 10 minutes pay, I guess. Unlucky, unlucky for the home side to lose a player so early on. Shimkoviak maybe not the most instrumental player to their success, so might survive. Oh, and there is Jiu-Jitsu, Junito, the unpronounceable, and he has opened the scoring for Stackington. Shay Given, first goal he's conceded, I think. I think he did okay last time out against Miva. Or was it Miva who didn't have a single shot? Maybe he didn't do that well. Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, I, I don't remember. I know it's not what it says. It's something different, but I can't for the life of me remember. Givtinho, something like that. Anyway, I'll focus on the game now and stop making up silly names for players. Gazelle 6 and 4. They've actually been pretty well in it. Just Daggington were just a little bit better or luckier getting that goal. The assist for Kieran Dyer. He's had a good start to his season as well. Very positive. That's his fourth assist of the season. That's probably top of the assist charts, one of the better Kieran Dyers. Oh, and oh, manager's going to put a strain on on the relationship here. I feel Andy Cole's going to come on for Nicholas and Elka. Manager's seen enough, and Anelka is not going to get any more chances apparently. No doubt from manager there. Cole comes on, and that's it. We'll give Carhan a few minutes, but nothing yet. Who's Carhan? Ah, Miroslav Carhan. Um, yeah. We'll roll until 60. Both managers seem to be happy with what has been done so far. Good old Boyd McGregor in charge of this one. Hitler's coming forward. Given bravely collects the ball. You have to be brave to collect the ball, I guess. In some scenarios, maybe. There comes Robbie Keane. Potter strikes with fury clean over the bar. Stackington creating plenty here. Um, Potter is really getting involved and throwing himself about. And would you believe it? I wish he'd score less goals. I didn't have to say his name. Um, but Ditinho, I'll just say it like that, is proving to be pretty much unstoppable at the moment. That's I guess, his fourth of the season. 11 and 6 for Staggington, 7 and 4 for the Gazelles. Was that not what they had in the first half as well? Who knows? It was assist for Kieran Dyer, assist for Carhan, who was getting a few more minutes. Um, Jiu-Jitsu is a revelation. Indeed, he is. It's kind of inexplicable because I know his off the ball is very important, but it doesn't look super intrinsic to me with the rest of his attributes. And it's not uncapped because it's not 20. So I don't know. It's not some unrealistic uncapped number. So it kind of shouldn't work. But there we are. Mega was going to leave it. Dan, Shea Givens on an 8. Long arrows on the wing. That's keen to, let's see. Long arrows on the wingers. Keen to center DMC with short arrow to MC. There we go. Carhan should survive. Should he? Is he weak? 78. Ugh, fitness is a myth, I guess. We'll speed this one up and see what happens in the last 30 minutes, 22 minutes, whatever is left now, 18, 19 minutes. It looks as if Gazelles are creating a whole lot more here in the first 16 minutes there after the 60-minute restart. The drinks break, we can call it that, after the hydration break. That's what it's going to be from now on. Um, we'll leave it for the second half for the hydration breaks, but that's definitely what it's going to be referred to going forward. Much better from Gazelles in the last 30 odd minutes or 20 odd minutes, whatever it was. 12 and 8, Stackington 2-0 winners though. 13 goals, 13 shots, 7 on target, and it's 7, 8s, and 9s across the board from them. Not one poor performance in there from those players who started and also finished. Carhan drops down to 72, but does not pick up an injury, it would seem. Potential foot injury, who knows? Um, Many shots from both managers. A little bit Andy Cole, a little bit Guigu, not brilliant. A little bit out of position maybe as well. I don't think he's a natural winger. Andy Cole should have probably done better though. But yeah, maybe he will next time. Solid performance defensively, apparently. I'm not entirely sure how, but with 13 shots against. But there we are. And Stackington runs out 2-0 winners in this one. Right. Meaver Town would like to go, so we do that. Meaver Town against Foss Road. I'm not sure what Smuts is doing, playing with Fife potentially, but let's see. Or maybe he is here lurking. Who knows? Meaver Town, new tactic, but new people. Emerson comes in. De La Sisi are doing winger things. It's all looking pretty interesting, to be honest. Not seeing a three at the back. I think we've had people doing like one at the back, two at the back, four at the back. I'm not sure three at the back is something that makes a regular occurrence in the Super League, but here it is. And we'll see how it works out for the manager. Again, plenty of attacking options. It's still a bit of a mystery how Miva Town aren't creating more with the attacking opportunities that they have. They have Scally who can play forward, Mendieta's there as well, and then they have a decent amount of attacking players in front. So we'll see how it goes this evening. Um, those aren't whip wop, are they? Look weird on my phone. No, no, it's just a strange color. There's nothing. There are thin lines on my screen, so I mean nothing happens when I mean the arrow disappears, but no, it's just the blue and purple there. There shouldn't be any whip wop the things in the Super League, not even on the keeper, who normally is, by the way, if you take the standard 4-4-2 formation. But no, everything's above board. Um, I have been caught out by this one time in the past many years ago, but no, all good. Um, so that's me, the town. See how it goes for them. Couple of squad numbers here. Peticos and Amazon. Swamp style formation. Indeed, it has a bit of a swamp look. Maybe a few more arrows would have been good. Curse of a tiny screen. Indeed, I've been caught out that by that myself, Mike. Good to check. Good to check because often people are using tactics that they've had for years and don't even notice it. Move players about or download tactics that look formations that look nice, which is of course completely fine. Move stuff around and don't even notice that the circles are there. So, but no, everything. I occasionally go around and right click on everything just to make sure. But no, definitely nothing here. First Road, couple of changes for them. Sanetti comes back in, and Mantoras comes for inexplicable reasons comes back in. Tough start as well for Foss Road. Not the sort of stuff they've been accustomed to. They haven't scored in 3 games, and Meavertown struggled to score as well. So let's hope that this is a turning point in terms of entertainment this evening. Meavertown hosting Foss Road. A fabulous start from from Foss Road is Zanetti, who opens the scoring for the visitors on 9 minutes. Um, Town have their own chances here. Totti picks up a yellow card. D'Alessandro had the goal from the free kick. Hipia picks up a yellow card. It's Scally, it's D'Alessandro, and that is Town back in. There's 1-1 now. Both teams who've struggled to score have both found the back of the net here in the first half. Plenty of chances still for Foss Road, but Town are fighting back. It's D'Alessandro again, and there is Scally getting involved, Crespo involved, and someone looks to have picked up a tiny bit of an injury, maybe. Not entirely sure, but plenty of action here in the first half. 3-2 for Town, 2-2 for Foss Road. Both teams have a goal. The assist was from Edgar Davids, him and Francesco Totti are in yellows. Smart says as is, which is fine. It was Roy Mackay who got the assist. And Andres Alessandro's been a pretty selfish here, had all three shots, two of them on target. Emerson Mendieta just getting used to the new formation, but playing pretty decently, I have to say, everyone. And look at Dede and Lassisi with eights for those kind of odd wide maneuvers there. Both managers go as is. We roll up until 60. Any chance to go soon? Yes, you can go next. Absolutely. Get John next, don't worry. As the football started, by the way. Is anyone watching? I can't remember who's playing tonight. Ecuador, Germany, 1-1. What's going on? Ivory Coast leading Curacao. Um, Scally trips Laurent Robert. He lines up the free kick, deflects off the shot. Finds Smuts. There's Scally. There's a bunch of Town defenders throwing themselves in front. Dede and Zanetti were unreal for a previous hillside. I mean, Dede, he kind of disappeared because Ian hated him and and dropped him um and dropped him somewhere. So he didn't get much of a look in for ages. So yeah, but yeah, Derek can and should do the business. Nothing really happening here in the beginning of the second half. Laurent Robert down on a six, Mantoris on a six as well. We've got Alan Smith and Stephen Reed, two obvious replacements on the bench for Foss Road. Should the manager decide to go with that? Um, for me, the town is looking pretty good. Eights and sevens. I mean, Barry Ferguson on the bench. I guess he could come in from Mendieta, but maybe a bit risky. Patasoglu, Nicola. I, I mean, I probably wouldn't change anyone. Ferguson is. It's tempting to throw Ferguson in there, but I'm not sure. We'll see what Ross says, and we'll see what Smart says as well to his. Chilling and watching it with a beer. I thought you were strictly a cider man. Whoever got on the bench that can play AMC. Stephen Reed. Stephen Reed can play every position. Of course, of course, you got Stephen Reed. Just look at his teamwork. I don't think Alan Smith. Alan Smith is probably not your top choice. Um, right, Ross is going to go as is, so that's fine. So we'll just wait until Smarts decide who he's going to sacrifice or how they're going to be sacrificed, if at all. Totti for Laurent Robert. Smith for Robert. Two up top. Ronnie. Aha, goody, goody, goody. Right, Fossroad going for it here. Was that right? Totti, yeah, it was. Fossroad going for it here. Miva Town are gonna try and see if they can hold on. Two up top for Foss Road. Paying for a best transfer request. Yeah, he's not him and Anelka. They are not happy campers, really. I didn't know Laurent Robert was such a could go to such a strop, but apparently he can. Um, well, just slow this down a little bit here. That is, comes off someone. Costanzo with a good save there. Miva Town um, hanging on here. Foss Road seems to be the team creating a little bit more here in the last 30 minutes, but it looks as if we're heading towards a 1-1. I think that it's going to be it. Ross will definitely take that, I guess. After the start he's had to the season, it's not a win, but it's only one goal conceded. It's one goal scored. D'Alessandro played well. Maybe could have been a little bit better in the second half. But there's definitely something to work on here. Good performance by Costanzo. The defensive partnership worked brilliantly. Sami Hyypiä did great as well. Roy Mackay likes this. He even got the assist. Yeah, improved Town definitely, and Foss Road not too bad either. A a Geofor, a Geof, what, a Geofor gets man of the match award. 17 tackles. What? Eight of them key. Brilliant. That's why you didn't get any shots, Ross. I'm sorry. There was a wall. There was a wall down there, blocking everything. So yeah, fun game. And a fair result. I think overall good defensive display by both sides. By both sides there. Cool. Dudley Hill wants to go next. Mike is here as well, so that's what we will do. Steve has a couple of changes. He has Moravcik who comes in for Pablo Aymar, and I forget the other one. Something defensively maybe. Oh, Patrick Vieira, of course, comes back in for Evan Berg, who was sorely missed last time out against the Badgers. So that is where Dudley is at. Moravcik doesn't have a number. He gets 19. Bridge, just the one change. Donny, who did pretty good in his first outing as an attacking player, I think it was, didn't do brilliantly last time out. So he's dropped. Insagi's back in. He has scored already this season. So that's it for the Bridge. So it's third, I think it was third against fifth here. A bit of a clash at the near the top of the table anyway. Dudley Hill at home against the Bridge. And there comes Tigalco, and it's Nick Matulin with a good save. And it's a free kick for Dudley Hill, and there was Ehia picking up an injury. And this is going to be interesting now. Will it be a straight swap for Drostov? I guess he is kind of the obvious uh, sort of substitution. Nicky Butt is desperate to get a game, I feel. Um, any of these guys, can they play DC? Who knows? Not really. Looks like a dross. Looks like a dross. Uko or what? Um, Salihamidzic was the guy who had the chance there for Dudley Hill. Moravcik. I've seen Moravcik's name a bunch of times. I've never seen. Oh, and there's Inzaghi with a sucker punch. Bamboozler Bridge opens the scoring. Take a 1-0 lead into half time here, it looks like. Dudley Hill looked to have been in control, creating most of it. Yeah, it's a champing. It's a first half champing. It's 7-4 for Dudley Hill, 1-1 for Bridge, but they have taken the lead. The goal was from Inzaghi, as you'd expect, and Baumer got the assist, as you'd expect as well, to be honest. Nick Matulin's doing well. He's on an 8. Defensively, it's going pretty good as well. Del Vecchio's on a 6. He has had an amazing start to the season at MC, but yeah, he's only on a 6 here at half time. But Mike's going to be delighted with going into the break 1-0 up. Steve's not going to be super happy about that. Sigalko is on a 6. Yes, sort of a decent-ish start to the season. I mean, 2 assists and a goal. That's definitely not the worst. Um, has Damon Hill conceded a goal before today? What? Mike goes as is. Um, and Dudley, meanwhile, shame for the keeper, gets a 6 there. Danielson, Tudor, Sereni, and Elber on the bench. Not sure if we're going to see any of them, but we'll see. Steve says we're all trusting the process here. Moravcik and Henrik Larsson, were they both at Celtic at the same time? I kind of feel like they were. Was Moravcik even at Celtic, or did I make that up? I don't know. Seems like he was there. El Vecchio is doing things for Bridge. Moravcik and Tsigalko are combining again and again. Nothing's come out of it. And there's Larson as well. That's going to be a corner. Dudley Hill are all over this. They just cannot seem to find the breakthrough. Nick Matulin is doing exceptionally well. Has been so far. And then Sagi's not taking any prisoners down the other end of the pitch. It's 2-0 Bamboozler Bridge. And we have reached the 60-minute mark. We have reached the hydration break. And Inzaghi now playing the provider for Bauma, and but not getting the goals. That's a partnership that has goals in it, both at Celtic on this game. There's always Germany against Ecuador, Steve, if you need, and a call be waiting for you. Nick Matulin's on a 9. He's had a brilliant Brilliant game so far, and yeah, as mentioned, assist for Baumer. The other assist was for Mido, and Filippo Inzaghi is the man with the goals. Everyone is on sort of super good fitness and doing well. I don't think. I mean, Rostov's not brilliantly. Don't think Bots has much of a chance of coming in here with Likely and the Cheddar Man doing sevens and eights. So we'll see. We'll see if Mike wants to do anything. Meanwhile, Steve has Elba at his disposal on the bench. Of course, the Nielsen as well. Well, not sure where he would put him, but it looks as if as people have actually been doing okay. They just haven't been able to get past Nick Matulin in the bridge goal, unfortunately. Um, Elba for Larson. Centralize. Move him left of Max. Aha. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get so. There we go. Good. Two up top for Dudley for the last half hour, and Bridge are doing as is. Not much point in changing if it's working. No, indeed. Never change a winning team. Um, and it's not always brilliant to change a losing one either. That's often not the solution. But we'll see. Trusting the process is always good, I feel. It's Mido and it's Tomadera and it's 3-0. Bridge are completely in control of this one. Perhaps a little bit unexpected. Dudley Hill taking the low morale from that Badgers defeat into this one. And they have been completely run over here at the end by the Bridge. They run out 3-0 winners and move above them in the table, I guess, or level with points anyway. Filippo Inzaghi picks up Man of the Match awards. Tomadero's goal was unassisted. There's 8 all over the shop here. Del Vecchio's on a 6, a little bit disappointing considering the start to the season he has had. Um, yeah. Meanwhile, Smerson gets a 9. Everyone else gets 7s, apart from Zialgo, who gets a 6. He had a shot on target and a shot off it. And indeed, Dudley Hill have been bamboozled. Press red to play again. Well, or Alt F4 to. Is it Alt F4 to quit? Anyway, not that I would know. Of course, I don't cheat. Um, Boston against Dragons. And we've got East Coast against Haggis as well to go. I think Scott was here. Scott is or was here, so let's go Bostock Stanley against Dragons. Um, Dragons are unchanged. I think they're 2-2 last time out with Haggis in a decent enough game. Impensa is the goal machine so far for them, 3-4. It's going to come good for Dragons. Manager believes in the process. So we will see. We'll see how long that lasts but maybe it'll come good for Dragons. They have a tricky away game. They're away to Bostock, who are changing things up a bit. With the Bostock Gong Ho, Okoronkwo, Gerard, Gattuso, Serginho, Ortega is the back five, and the front five, as you can see, Raul Vesio, Brosek, Riquelme, and Kennedy. Um, so plenty of attacking power as Bostock go hunting for the first goal of the season. Um, it's eluded them so far. 4 games without scoring. They do have a point though from that 0-0 draw, but yeah, tricky times for Bostock. We'll see if their luck is about to change as they face the Dragons. Dragons in their yellow and red away things. Let's just double check the speed and let's get this one underway. Bostock Stanley's had a couple of chances already. It's got to come sooner or later, that goal, hasn't it? Yeah, piling on the pressure here, but Dragons have 1 or 2 chances themselves. There comes Riquelme, tries to create something. Raul, Brosek, Ortega, Toldo with a brilliant save. Basilio, uh, Raul moves too soon. He runs into an offside position. Serginho comes forward. There's Vasiliuk, and there's a red card for the Dragons. It's Yepes who picks up a red card here. Um, yeah, this is now a question because as the manager is not here, what are we going to do? Um, or is he? Has anyone seen Duggan, by the way? Doesn't look like it. I feel like one of the back, considering how it's been going, one of the back is a little bit risky, especially with all the players up front that he has. Um, he was streaming, if he isn't still doing so. What's he streaming? I mean, he could be. He's allowed, but I didn't know he was streaming. But I guess it's okay. Um, Probably executive decisions. Okay, that's cool. Good. Can I thumbs up this? No, I can't. Okay, never mind. Put user in timeout. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, executive decisions. Where we're at. NDI can. Oh, let me get the position things on. NDI probably stays there. I guess Ayala comes on for. Do we go one up top? Maybe. I guess. Executive decisions have been made. Dragons are going to go one up top. I don't know if Scott, you want to do something? You're already like incredibly attacking, so I don't know if there's anything that you would like to change. You can, of course, but we'll probably leave it until half time. Scott says roll. Three shots, three on target. It's been better than what it has been. Oh, it wasn't a penalty. I thought it might have been a penalty. I thought the goal was coming there, but it wasn't. 4-3 for Bostock, 3-1 for Dragons. Dragons stats. Yepes obviously did badly and got sent off. Contras on a 5 as well, and sixes everywhere else. Ayala's already on a yellow. Looks as if this could be a long night for the Dragons. Scott says roll. Okoronkwo's on an 8. Everyone else is on 7s and 6s. Vasiukas has 2 shots on target. We'll see. We might see Saviola at 60 minutes, but let's see the first 15 of the second half how that goes. Bostock continue to control the game, but it's Veron coming forward now. There's Okoronkwo, but unlucky for Dragons, nothing comes of it. Um, Throw in for Bostock here. Impensa has the ball though. You always need to be careful when Impensa is involved. You never know what is going to happen. And there he is again, but Andre goes down to save it well. Contra comes forward now, and Impensa with another chance that Andre saves. And Marquer comes forward now. And Dragons have really created something here in the beginning of the second half, and it's NDI who opens the scoring for the visitors. Bostock still struggling to find the goal, and here we have reached the hydration break. Serginho was unable to stop Impensa. Impensa with a field shot misses by a mile. He got that all wrong. Dragons, amazing start to the second half. The manager didn't do anything, obviously, but they've had a brilliant start to the second half. It's not really reflected in the stats, but there we are. Bostock, meanwhile, frustrating for the manager, to say the least. He has got Agostinho, who could potentially come on down that left-hand side with his 20 dribbling instead of Serginho, could do well. Yakubu's there as well, and of course Saviola, who had a terrible start to the season, to be honest, but maybe in a 3 he could do something. I guess we're going to see something from the manager at this point. What it will be. Saviola for Kennedy. And that is it. Trusting the process, at least to some extent. Let's see if Saviola can make the difference. Half an hour coming up here. Will Boston find the first goal of the season, or will it be 5-0 in terms of goals scored for the home side? It's hard to believe that with. Oh, and Pence has picked up an injury. That is terrible news. I believe Giovanni is probably the best option. And Pence has to come off Fiore, and then these two can swap. Terrible news for Dragons, but good for them if they can hold on to this one. Raul comes forward, Vasiu comes forward, Brosek comes forward. Um, Raul again, Toldo with a save. Another Saviola now, Ortega now, Okoronkwo now, Okoronkwo again. Dragons down the other end, and the final whistle blows. Bostock Stanley tried their best. Plenty of offsides for both. Plenty of side for both sides. Not sure what Bostock Stanley's got to do to buy a goal here. That's 5 games and still a big zero. Who had the shots? Okoronkwo, man of the match. He had a shot. Riquelme had a shot. Ortega, Raul, Vasiu, Brosek, Saviola came in and didn't do anything. Um, yeah. T- Unfortunate for Bostock and Dragons somehow with it's an expensive win with Impenta being injured and Yepes being sent off, but it finally came good for Dragons and they pick up 3 points. Yeah. This brings us to the last game of the evening. Dimple says he's around with no sound, so he can enjoy this in silence. Everyone else will get to listen. Haggis is not here, so we will dive straight into this one. A couple of changes. I think Emerson's back in, pretty much full strength. East Coast side, and Haggis unchanged after that 2-0 defeat, a 2-0 win, 2-2 draw, unchanged for the visitors. Full speed on this one. And let's see, Emerson, who was obviously scoring so freely in the first three games. Did he pick up a red or an injury? Anyway, I think he's already on 3 goals. Emerson can't miss, but somehow he did. It looked as if he was going to add to his tally. East Coast goals top scorer for the season so far, I think, with 3 goals. Montella, Robin, combining well. There, Hoffland strikes with fury for Haggis, but nothing doing. And instead, is East Coast to take control again. Plenty of chances for them. And there comes Montella. There's Robin, Montella again. Good solid performance from Haggis at the back here, not creating a whole lot going forward. There's 3 chances, 1 on target. East Coast 3-2. It looks as if, I mean, it looks as if they were well in control of this one, to be honest, East Coast. But the match report doesn't always agree. Some match stats don't always agree. Hetman and Samuel are doing well. Milito's on 6 and a yellow. Volodenkov, Sadov, Diego Tristan all on 6s. Meanwhile, the East Coast stats are a bunch of 7s, an 8 for Takinadi, and a 6 for Zambrota. Peter San, Liverani, and Amoroso's on the bench. I don't expect anything from the manager at this point. Um, but we'll see. Probably I mean, who is this guy? He's done well though. He's done well, to be fair. Pablo here, um, Argentinian maybe in real life, Espanol defender. Um, Nestor the captain, Montella not scored yet, but a good average. Charlie Chaos as well, of course. 775, brilliant average for him as well. And Emerson, as mentioned, with 3 goals, I guess, 3 goals in three, not scored yet in this one, of course, but um, plenty of opportunity for that in the second half, which I'm sure will kick off shortly. Dimble says roll, and as Campbell is not here, we will just do the first 15 minutes. Comes off Jeremy's. I think it was a Montella again. And finally, for East Coast, they've broken the deadlock. It is Sambrota who opens the scoring. It's his first goal for East Coast this season. And Haggis are going to have Noel Edmonds in charge of proceedings. Now, Haggis are going to have to be at their very best to get back into this one. You feel there comes Sadov, Thierry Henry into the ball. There's Matt Holland. Matt Holland, of all people, have equalised. Superleague medal winner, I guess. Champions, something. I don't know. Matt Holland. Um, Scoring for Haggis here. Milito's unable to control the ball. There's Donovan. The ball spins away though. Say Roberto comes forward now, past Jeremy's. And there's Emerson, puts it wide. Samuel did well to interfere. And here we are at the drinks break, 5-3 and 4-2. Haggis haven't looked to be in this at all, to be honest, but somehow they are. It was Thierry Henry with the assist and Matt Holland with a goal there, as we saw. And we have East Coast. It's 7s across the board, just a 9 for Emerson, who got the assist there. So 1-1, and Dimble says roll again. We will do that. A good save by Hitman. There's Landon Donovan and Cambiaso combining, coming forward for Haggis. But second half is flying past here, and it looks as if East Coast are going to lose the 100% record, and they are. Haggis holds them to a 1-1 draw. 6-3 for East Coast, 4-2 for the Haggis. It is Headman, it's Jeremy's, the key players here, Cambiaso as well. 11-7 for Jens Jeremy's, and 15-11 for Walter Samuel. And the home side has to settle for a single point. Alessandro Nesta, the captain, doing well, and Emerson. Despite not winning a lot of his tackles or his headers, but 4 key passes. Doesn't score though, still gets a 9 and the man of the match award. That means that the results for this evening are as follows. Badgers beat Barbrava 4-1. Dragons beat Bostock 1-0 away. Bamboozler Bridge beat Dudley Hill 3-0 away. East Coast and Haggis, as we just saw, a 1-1 draw. Stackington 1 away to Gazelles. Meavertown drew 1-1 with Foster Road and Road Dykes, and Aston share the spoils as well. That means that East Coast are level on points with Badgers at the top of the table. Astor are just behind Badgers on 10, Bridge on 9, so Dudley Hill, Stackington on 8, and below the line we have Dragons, who won this evening, on 6, ahead of Haggis, Road Dykes, Foss Road, Barra Brava, Cassels, Meavertown on 2 points, and at the bottom, Bostock Stanley, 5 games, no goals scored, and 9 goals conceded. Very, very, very shocking reading for the Bostock manager here. Can we see the stats tonight? You can indeed. I'm not sure which ones you want, but we can go through the player stats for sure. We can have a look at the average ratings. Cafu, Emerson, Ryan Giggs, Kieran Dyer, Bauma. There are plenty of people here. The whole first page is 8 and above, which is relatively impressive. Sowry was the last one, so we will go down below him. We can see Nick Matulin is there, Headman, Saeed, Salihamidzic. There's a Digino player there. He's on 7.8. Agat, and so on down to Sambrota here, 767. That's your average ratings. Your goals, up at the top of the table, we have David Collins, we have Jiu-Jitsu, we have Mpensa, Insagi, Kluivert, Viduka, Emerson still on 3 as well. Then there's people on 2, and then no doubt a bunch of people on 1 as well. In terms of assists, it's Kieran Dyer who's out ahead, along with Ryan Giggs, Lee Boyer just behind him, DJ Agat, Baumer, Rivaldo, and Sigalko on 2. There's Shimkoviak as well, who picked up that injury for Gazelles. I think it was it him? Or was it Swiatkowski? Anyway, someone with a Polish sounding name got injured, and down to Cafu with 2. What else do we normally look at, or what else is worth looking at? Man of the Match awards: Kira Dyer, Thierry Henry, Ryan Giggs, Rivaldo, Sir Roberto, and Emerson, all with 2. And tackles per game: Roy Keane on 8, Neil Scally, sort of familiar faces: Emmanuel Petit, Nesta, Espin as well in there, Walter Samuel, Tomasi. No surprises here, really. Fernando Hierro, maybe a bit of a surprise. And last but not least, dribbles per game, maybe Ryan Giggs, unsurprisingly. Andres D'Alessandro had a good one there. Ser Roberto's been doing brilliantly as well. Hernan Crespo with 4, not really scoring a lot though, is Hernan. That's where we are with dribbles, and I think that's probably going to be it. Shots on target. Can have a look at that one just for fun. Saviola with 25%. It's not. That's not ideal. Why is he? Why is he here? Surely someone. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. Fixtures. Last but not least, I'm not sure when the next show is going to be. I will be honest. I have a lot of travel and stuff coming up, but I will let you know. It won't be in the too distant future. That's going to be it for this evening. Packs will be out, I guess, tomorrow. And then, as mentioned, I will let you know when the next show will be. Thank you very much for joining. It was good fun as always. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the heat wave. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup. Speak to you all soon. Good night.